Hey guys, welcome to the Untold Story of Men, episode 3. I am Daniel Bartlett, mindset coach and the host of the Untold Story of Men.
And I'm Blake Minto, co-host of Untold Story of Men, and we have a special guest here today, one of my long-time friends, Matt Nolan.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on, boys.
It's
a pleasure. It really,
awesome.
really is.
Appreciate you coming on, bro. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Fuck yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on what you boys have been doing, and to get the invite to be the first guest is it's good. Yeah.
Well, we love to have you on.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Really love it, bro. Obviously, this podcast is about sharing our story. To encourage men out there to share their story or to reach and get help around the stigma in society. Mental health in men is fucking through the roof. 75% of the 9 that kill themselves every day. It's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it is. Horrible.
Me and Blake spoke about our stories, episode 1 and 2.
Yep.
And we really want to bring guests on to share their story and
100%.
bring some inspiration, man. And me and you have met before years and years ago.
Yes.
So when he mentioned your name, I was like, I know that guy.
That's
Fucking
it.
hell, that's cool.
A small world.
Yeah, honoured, man. Start with just telling us a little bit about yourself and what was your upbringing like?
Mate, born and bred in Toronto, so the 2283, that's where I reside,
Nice.
still there now. But yeah, look, the early part of my childhood was very much, mum was probably the main parent, if you will, for my life up until the age of 9, and then like dad was involved between then. He left the scene and went and did his own thing. So from the age of 9 onwards, mum was just a single mother.
Super mum.
Super mum. Yeah, she's my go-to girl. She was pregnant at the time, so dad's gone and done his own thing. My little brother Colby was born, so obviously a 9-year age difference there.
Yeah.
But just that whole thing of having a single mum the whole time, it's massive.
Yeah.
I look back there now and think I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I really don't think I'd be the person I am now, having the dynamic of 2 parents. As strange as that sounds.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just a credit to you. You could have been one of those statistics as well, and you've just switched it all around. And so that's a credit to you.
Yeah.
And your family.
100%.
100%. Because statistics show that when you're raised in just a single parent household, that you are more likely to have mental illnesses, go to jail, drug addictions and all that. So fucking hats off to your mum, man. Super mum.
Exactly.
How good.
Yeah,
thanks, mum. Well done.
Donna, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Donna.
No, but that was the thing. Hey, like growing up with her as I guess the inspiration. And then as a young child, especially, I'd always have envy towards my dad, thinking, what you've left us with nothing essentially. We got by, but at no stage did I get everything that I wanted. And I don't want to say that in a materialistic thing. It was basically just going to school and everyone would have brand name clothes and everything like that. And I always felt like I missed out, and we'd always get everything eventually, but it was the, going to school and seeing your friends have everything and think, why can't I have that?
That's right.
And it wasn't until I was older you think, well, that's actually not a bad thing because it's instilled to me that great things take time. It might be a week or a month or a year or many years. You will get there.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing for me, set up goals. That's a big thing for me, goals.
Massive, yeah.
So if you haven't got the goals, you'll never achieve anything. So I think if you get everything handed to you, the idea of a goal, the satisfaction of a goal isn't there.
Absolutely.
Spot
100%.
on. It was like I read a little meme the other day. It was the golden spoon fed child. It's like a lion growing up in the zoo and then putting him out to the wild. He doesn't know how to fucking hunt or do anything like that.
It's not going to work.
It won't work. Yeah. But being you, bringing you up, you had to hunt for those things. You had to get for all those goals, and that's unreal. Man. Good mindset.
For sure.
Unreal. But what was it like, not having a father full time in your life?
It's fucking tough. Because all the little things, there's still times now that I think, fuck, if I had a dad, I would know how to do certain things.
Yeah.
There was years ago, I didn't even know how to put fucking whippersnipper cord on a whippersnipper.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I feel like an amateur.
Just little things.
Little things. And they're the little things that would dawn on me for so long, thinking if I had a dad, I could do this, I could do that. Whereas there was a massive mind shift that changed, and I thought, well, fuck, no one's ever going to teach me. I'm going to have to teach myself.
Yeah.
So you get to that point, So at the very early stage, it was a burden. Whereas I think as you get older, you think, well, fuck, there's no handouts.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to do it myself.
That's right.
No one's coming to save you.
Exactly.
And especially when you have, when growing up with us boys, we're all our old men's are there, and like it's just a different dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you'd probably be able to attest to this too. I mean, I'd always go around the boys, like your dad, a few other boys, like Hazy, his dad. I'd always gravitate towards the older fellas.
Yeah.
Always. Like
Of course. Yes, of course.
Yes. All the boys would always say, fuck, you get along with them. And in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah. But for me, I think it was that yearning to have like a father figure.
Strong male figure in
Of course.
Yeah.
So I've always, even still to this day, most of my mates are older people.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt.
And it's really important for like young boys and men to even have strong male figures in their life.
Someone you can trust too.
100%.
Not just some older fella.
Yeah.
Someone you can actually go, hey, I'll take a bit of piece out of him.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's go, you know.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you're a father now?
Yes. Yep. Little son. Chase, he's 10 this year.
Oh, wow.
So
Good
that's
age.
Yeah, it's an awesome age. And that's the thing too. I think now that I sit back and I just go, sweet, how am I going to be a good dad? And it's just, we're all trying, I'm sure. But it's, as long as I do everything opposite to what my dad did, we'll be sweet.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
Nice.
So,
That's right. Yeah.
And like I said, it's it's like you're forever learning. You're forever trying to be the best dad you can. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have shit.
Of course. Yeah.
But as long as you're doing a little bit better than you were yesterday, you'll be fine.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for work at the moment?
Like real estate at the moment. Yeah. So it's a big change. So I was in mining and civil for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Ever since I basically left school. So I travelled around, did the fly out route. And then last 4 years been in real estate. So a big change.
Massive, yeah.
But it's good. It's another, like I like to refer to as just use another side of the brain.
Yeah.
The subconscious style, I can jump on a machine, I can do all that stuff. But the real estate side of things, that mental side is completely different. And it's a big challenge.
Probably gives you a bit of drive as well.
100%. So I'm very new to it. You know, I'm going to be new to it for a very long time to come.
Yeah.
So that, like apprenticeship all over again.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
it.
Who do you work for? Shout out.
Presence Real Estate.
Yeah, cool.
I actually saw a signboard just down the road too. So, yeah.
Well, if you're looking to sell a house,
That's it. I'll be
hit up
there.
Matt.
He's a man. I can attest to this.
And what other mental struggles with real estate and actually working away in the mine?
Oh, mate, working away, that isolation. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing when you are working away. I think you get a lot of people that are used to it, and a lot of people just will gravitate straight towards the grog or the pub.
Yeah.
Most times when you work on site, there's a wet mess, they refer to it as, and that's a pub on site.
Yeah.
So you go down there, or there's a gym.
Yeah.
So most of the times you'll have two parties of people. It'll be the wet mess crew or the gym crew.
Right.
So I gravitated straight towards the gym,
Nice
and that was my thing. But that isolation's a big thing, you know, and you're away for, when I first started, I was doing 28 days on and 7 days off. And I was working in Western Australia, so realistically I only had 5 days at home.
Yeah.
So they were, you know, you'd fly out, you'd feel at the top of the world, and then 5 days later you fly back.
Yeah.
And you go to the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
You know,
And
you
then
don't
you've got 28 days.
Yes, yeah. And it's, you know, I was, 19 at the time, so the money was phenomenal. But once you get past the idea of the money and you've got that goal, my goal was to buy a house, and I did that within, 9 months, saved up, you know, the deposit anyway, and that was awesome. But once you lose that goal, then you think, what am I going to do now? And then it's buying stupid shit and just basically pissing your money up the wall.
It's like you had that purpose, which is the house, and then once you got that, fuck, what am I going to do
Now we can
now?
party. You just spent the last 9 months absolutely buckled down doing
Yeah.
nothing. Now let's let our hair down a little bit. Well, I had hair.
Yeah.
And we can go from there, you know. So yeah.
And what was the impact being away from your family as well?
It was hard, hey.
Still with the mother of your child?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I met her over there actually, and still together now. She's me rock. She's basically the one that I go back to, without a doubt. But man, it was weird. Hey, like I'd come back, and because you're with such a concentrated group of people for so long, when you come back to, it might sound weird, but when you go to shopping centres like Charlestown or Guitar or even little shop sets, you get a little bit of an overwhelming feeling because you're not used to so many people.
Yeah.
And that's when I started experiencing panic attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Over just being overwhelmed with the amount of people. I remember in Charlestown Square, I don't know where I was, maybe Rebel or something like that. But anyway, just cruising through and I remember walking out the shop, and when you got that big, the big landing out the front where the walkway is, just this tunnel vision just creeped in me. And it was just, it's such a big area, so many people and like a hive of activity. I just didn't know how to process
Overwhelming.
it. Yeah, overwhelmed.
Yeah,
I was very much
wow.
overwhelmed.
How did you get out of that?
Oh, I struggled with that for a long, long time. So arguably, I've struggled with mental health solid for 10 years.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well,
as a kid, panic attacks and just the little things like that. And then it went on to be, I am diagnosed with depression. And that's something that I treat every day. I take medication for that. But otherwise, I'm good now. But there was a long road there that it was fucking tough.
Yeah.
Like, never had suicidal thoughts. I'd have the consideration of what would be of, suicide, what would be the after effects. But man, that was fucking tough.
Yeah.
Just waking up. I remember when it first occurred when I was in Western Australia. I remember I was on the lounge at home on one of my breaks, and I didn't leave the lounge truly for a full day. I didn't have the energy to get up.
Wow.
I just felt, fuck, this is easy just to sit here and do nothing.
Yeah, fuck. It's like that. You just have no energy. Kind of like a sort of massive weight.
Yes,
just falling
100%. A weight that you've never felt before, and it's like the door's closed.
Yeah.
And there's no handle on the door.
And with those 28 days on and those 5 days off,
Yep.
was that becoming like a mental strain as well? Like
Towards the end, yeah, 100%.
Yep.
So when I first started, it was exciting. It was like, oh, this is all right. We'll get used to this. And then towards the end, like it just, you build yourself up to such excitement getting close to your swing off or your week off that when it reset and you started again, it was just this, I guess it was an overload of excitement and everything. And then when you come back, you think, fuck, can I do this?
Yeah.
Like, think of a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's right.
Roller coaster, and you go to the top and you're experiencing the highs of the highs, and then when you come back, it's the lowest of the lows, and it's just that constant up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah.
Because the money at first too would be obviously
Tremendous.
great, and you're like, oh, I could do this for fucking
tremendous.
forever.
Like, you're talking, close to $200,000 a year at 19.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, wow.
No one's
Ridiculous.
on that. Like, that's massive.
You know, and it's, like I said, coming from the lowest of lows, single mother, not being able to afford many, many things in life to get to the point, it's like anything realistically that was in reason, you could just go, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's, then it plays its own negative attachment too, because you think, fuck, I go through life and buy anything.
Yeah.
And then when it all stops and you don't earn that wage, or you go back to a regular wage or whatever it is, you think, fuck, my whole life's changed.
Yeah.
And then you go again.
Fuck. And I feel like a lot of those guys in the mines working away, they'll go and get into these jobs, spend a lot of money, get into all this debt, and then they can't get out of that role. They can't get out of FIFO because they've got all this debt they need to play for. Yeah,
they got that sustain.
And they were used to that spending, spending, I can just do this or I can do that.
Yeah. And then, if you're arguing with your missus back home and then you're at work and you can't fly home and you've got all this fucking debt. And it's just, because they don't talk about this much on the news, especially, but there's suicide quite regularly down there.
Yeah. Suicide. There was one instance when I was in Queensland, a guy overdosed at camp. So that's probably something that's not talked about too much either, is the drug use in mines, especially mine camps, everyone thinks because you got to do a piss test or a drug test when you first get there, or regularly in terms of a randomization. It's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It might go months without being drug tested.
Yeah.
But there could be instances where you could just I think he did ice or whatever it was. But go on.
And there's heaps of ways around drug testing now.
100%.
Like, I've been on sites before, people have fake piss in their pocket.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Where did you get that from? $55 down at the rock shop or something.
And they gloat about it too.
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy that would every day have it with him, ready to go.
Yeah.
And you think,
that's hectic.
it's crazy. And you think, really? You can't not go without it just to keep your job?
I've come prepared.
Even the saliva test, people would have apple cider vinegar or Bonjela.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you couldn't test it.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, wow.
It's fucking crazy.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you're earning a really, really good wage that most people would, die over just to get that opportunity to set themselves up. And you got people that will go and do that. And I guess that's within every job.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the drugs and the alcohol on those sites are just coping mechanisms.
Yes.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
You were great. You found the gym. They just couldn't. They didn't have the resource to find that, or the strength to find that.
100%. Yeah. For sure.
And because they have the money, it's just easier.
Yeah.
It's just there's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better.
They feel good on it.
Yeah,
It's the only time they feel good.
100%. And even the food too, because when you go to the wet messes, the dry mess where the actual food is, the best way to describe it is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Because that's how it's presented.
Yeah.
It's the all-you-can-eat Baie Marie. You can literally, from your veggies all the way through to your meats, and at the very end, that's your dessert bar.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too that probably isn't talked enough. It's the diet.
Yeah.
If your diet's shit, you will feel shit.
Yeah. You are.
That's right.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I remember seeing so many people just line their plates with cakes and pies and whatnot, and you think this is just bananas.
It's crazy.
They might not be doing it in the upfront way of drinking, but they're doing it on the backside eating when no one really takes too much notice.
Yeah,
until they start blowing out, putting a bit of weight on you. Look at look at this. But that could be another mental health struggle.
Exactly.
Everything's played against you there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because diet is massive, and we're starting to get into the body pillar and the line stem brotherhood, and that's what we're going to be teaching is what you're putting into your body. In your guts, because there's a little the nervous system, and then you got the gut health, if you're eating shit, you're going to feel shit.
Yeah.
If you're going to eat healthy and exercise, you're going to start feeling a lot better.
100%.
So, like, I did the carnivore diet, strict for like 30 days when I started being like all depressed and stuff. And I turned 30 and a light bulb moment went off in my head. I'm 34 now. And that's what the fuck am I doing? I'm getting pissed every fucking weekend. I'm drinking so much. I need to do something better. And then I found breath work, meditation, and then the carnivore diet. When I did the carnivore diet strict for 30 days, it's the fucking best I've ever felt. The most energy. I fucking lost all this fat. The brain fog was gone. It was fucking great. And now I'm keto. And I've been keto for this whole year so far. I haven't eaten any ultra processed sugar or food, so I feel fucking amazing. Like my energy levels are through the roof.
Super sane.
I actually, when you mentioned Dragon Ball Z the other day, I've got Goku and Super Saiyan in my room. I'm going to show you later. Oh, fuck. So obviously when you're doing FIFO, everything's fucking against you.
Yes.
And kudos to you, man. You didn't go down that road, did you?
No.
You found the gym. I guess you ate pretty healthy.
100%.
What was keeping you to stay on that good track?
Just once I found myself after, so I bought the house, like I said, and when I say I had a bit of a splurge, I didn't do anything stupid. I didn't buy the jet skis or the fucking boats or anything like that. I think I went and bought I went and bought a new Hilux. That was, and I remember looking at it, and it was something ridiculous. It was almost 20% interest. Now I'm a bit older and a bit more savvy, I think.
They seen you walking. They seen you walking in.
She's probably not watching this, but if that salesman's watching this, she's the greatest salesman. But she had me to a T. Whatever she put in front of me, I would have just signed. That was but I think that was the thing too. Is just all right. We got the house. We have this bit of a miss. Let's just keep going. And I guess I just wanted to get myself in a position that money wasn't an issue. Bit of a safekeeping if you keep it going. You know? And obviously get the experience that I can have a life doing this for however long it is.
Fuck yeah, man. Awesome. So you mentioned before panic attacks and you've been diagnosed with depression. How do you manage that today?
The medication really does, I would say, 75-80% of the work, without a doubt. I don't have those self-doubt thoughts that pop in as easily. And I do know that if I don't go to the gym or I don't go to jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, some type of energy exertion, it starts to creep back in. And especially I would be the poster child of like body dysmorphia. If I see myself getting a little bit heavy in the guts, I'm fucking you fat cunt. Let's fucking whip it in, you know what I mean? So that's, I guess, a little trigger for me too, so I can get on them. Like you said before, diet, if I start to reel off the diet a little bit, I'll notice a difference mentally too. Physically, I'll start to see it, and then mentally, you're getting a bit pudgy, creeps in, and then it's a whole other train of thought.
That's a positive thing, even though you're calling yourself fat.
It's good for
you're still doing that positive intention after.
100%.
You just want the best for yourself, like that's just one of those signs.
For sure.
But switch.
Exactly. But like you said, diet. I think it's like a whole host of things, like the pie chart. You got the medication over here for me that works, the diet, the fitness, the home life too. If I'm in a good mind space, obviously that then radiates out. It's done.
And is routine a big thing for you?
Yeah, it is 100%. So I mean, when I worked away, it was night shift, day shift, and all that. So that would obviously cater, knock things out. But for the most part, if I get me 8 hours sleep, I'm pretty sweet. And I can go from there.
And you're obviously in a good relationship.
Really,
you
really
mentioned
good.
Your partner's a rock. How has it been for her and you in the relationship with the depression?
I mean, I wouldn't be the easiest person to live with, without a doubt. I don't pussyfoot around that. But she's been a big saviour for me. She has her own mental health battles that she goes through, so we can kind of go back and forth with each other. And then same token, when I was at my worst, I'm sure that would have been a fucking... she could have easily just got up and run away. So fuck this too hard. She didn't. She stayed with me. 100%.
That's nice.
Credit to her.
Yeah, what's her name?
Amy.
Amy, thank you, Amy.
Yes,
you need more good women out there, you know what I mean? Like, behind every strong man is a strong woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. I couldn't do the things that I do on a day-to-day basis without her. And that I can come back and I've got someone that I can just be there with. Whether it's just talking or whatever, just her being there. 100%.
And it's like I teach men, like the programming you have as a child is you will play it out into your life. You had a very strong mother, and you found a strong partner.
So absolutely.
If you didn't have a strong mother, you probably wouldn't have a strong partner. So
no.
It's a massive play out.
100%. And it's a good correlation too, mate, because mum's very headstrong and Amy's very headstrong too. She's very career driven and everything like that, and also mum too. So 100%. For
100%.
sure.
And do you still have a relationship with your father today? Or
Oh, I do. Look, my brother paints it the best. He's our mate. We see him every now and then.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, he's my dad. He's always going to be my
Yeah,
dad.
of
If I
course.
see him, I'll fucking jump out the car and go and talk to
Yeah,
him.
of course.
But it's an odd relationship, we'll say
Yeah.
that. There's no love loss. I don't hold anything against him, but he wouldn't be the first person I'd call if I needed help.
Yeah.
We'll say that much.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's the biggest challenge you think you've had as a man?
Being comfortable in my own body,
Yeah.
mentally,
Yeah.
feeling that I'm good enough to do anything. And I don't mean anything that's unrealistic. I mean just functioning every day, like without a doubt. Just having that belief in yourself that, like, challenging things. This is a bit of a challenge
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
a
of
podcast
course.
in front of people, But that wasn't a hesitation because I know you guys and I'm comfortable with you guys. But I think just that self-doubt, that was the biggest thing for me. And I think that stems from my dad as well. Confidence issues for a very long time. There was times that I would have this little voice in my head that says, you can't do that. Or you'd make a little fuck up and it would be gravitated towards, tenfold.
But you never think, like, just growing up with him, like, he ever had self-doubt because of what he's gone through and what he's done. Like, it just, like, obviously he has it, but he's just knocked everything out of the park that he's done.
Yeah.
And it's just growing up with him, it's just, like, it's so awesome
There's
to
some
see.
emotional chat.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. I just love where he's come from,
Blake and I are really close. We've had many chats in the past about our own little dramas and everything, and I guess that's probably he's one of the only people that I've ever told half the things to.
Yeah.
So I do have a lot of trust with him, Blake. But that's the thing, and like Blake said, like knowing me as a kid, you'd never expect that, but that was the facade I had to have because I couldn't let anyone know there was any weakness there.
And you never did.
Yeah.
He never faulted. Like, I never seen him fault once. I never seen him break down ever.
Yeah.
And like, that's just crazy.
But that's that facade, that stigma, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mask we put on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was always the party clown, always having a laugh, but by myself, I was just a fucking depressed, anxious
100%.
man.
Yeah, that was me as well. I was always, it was if you couldn't do something in front, like playing footy or whatever, drop the ball, whatever it might be, everyone's like, it's all good, whatever. But in my mind, that drop in the football might have taken me 2 weeks to get over.
Yeah.
And it was that gun shy of like, fuck, you better catch this ball. Little things like that. That's probably the best example I can give. Something so small to anyone would think, that's fucking nothing. Not for me. I would hold on to that and let it fest overthinking.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
And it just shows the importance of having a brotherhood. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Even if you didn't reach out, it was still that connection, that brotherhood. You could have these little talks, and it sounds like you opened up to Blake because you trusted him.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
A lot of men don't have that.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
And they might have it too, but they just don't know.
They don't,
it's that feeling of isolation. You think, fuck, no one's ever going to understand what I'm going through. And you might just usher it one day and someone will go, what's that? They go both ways.
Yeah.
You could be like Blake and go, what, like when you do this, does that happen? You go, yep. And then the other person like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
Man up, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And just test them.
Well, perception is projection, and you will learn this in the brotherhood. It's if the people that are around you the most are a projection of you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do open up what's going on, there's a fucking high chance that they're going through the same thing.
For sure.
That self-doubt, that hits me hard too.
Yeah.
Self-doubt of, cross country we spoke about last week and not making it professionally in football, going over there and failing and coming back. I think a lot of men struggle with that self-doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we've all gone through a period of massive self-doubt.
Look, boxing, man.
That's it.
Fuck, how much self-doubt did that bring?
I creeped in all the time. But yeah, that's just part of it. You got to learn how to deal with the self-doubt. And once you overcome the self-doubt, you become just next level.
Yeah. So who do you think helped you through your darkest times, man?
Oh, Amy, without a doubt. She was always there. Mum as well. She, like I said, she did have her mental challenges when she was younger, obviously with dad leaving and everything like that. Because they were together since, high school for the most part. So, definitely her to bounce back on. And then I guess it's just trying to find your own trigger mechanisms too. Like I said, it's only taken me a long time to get there. But when I don't go to the gym, I feel shit. When I don't eat well, I feel shit. So it's a lot of trial and error. But I think you just go through it as life goes on and try and work what works for you, what doesn't work. Drinking's a big thing. I can have a bit of a session with the boys every once in a blue moon and I'm fine. But if I do it 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, then it's a fucking downhill slope from there.
Yeah.
And becoming self-aware of your triggers.
Yes,
like that's
100%.
That is massive.
Yeah, that's
and you'll
it.
have a bad day and you think, oh, what's fucking brought this on? But then if you can actually reverse engineer it and go back through
Break
and go,
down.
hang on, you've been on the piss for 3
Yeah.
weekends in a row.
Cause and effect, eh?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So what's going on? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because alcohol's a depressant too. We
Oh,
spoke about it in
that's
episode
it.
1.
Massive.
It's fucking
Yeah, it's
poison.
bad.
But if you can control that and you can have self-awareness, then yeah, of course, go and enjoy yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, but if you are noticing yourself week after week, oh fuck, I've been smashing the piss, now I'm feeling like shit. Fuck, you're no good for yourself or
Exactly.
anyone around
No.
you.
And sometimes you feel like you've got to do that too because of the culture that we're in Australia, and especially the,
around here.
you know, the blokes that we know and we hang out with. You know, it's something that you do. It's normal.
That's it. It was like second nature growing up, isn't it? Like you're taught it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like I think we spoke about it last week. It's like when you got the tradies and they get their trade and they work with the, you know, like the tradies and the next when they finish they knock off. It's go straight to the pub with payday, blow the money in the poker machines and just get on the beers.
100%.
You know, like it's like a culture.
It is.
Yeah. So it's still going on today in the young fellas. Like I've been training at Toronto Wobber, playing football the last couple of weeks, and it's all about bringing the beers to training.
Yep.
Oh, should we run into the workers club and have a beer?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, this beer
Any
culture
excuse.
is just,
Yep,
any excuse.
that's right.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is.
Like one guy was wearing this dirty ass shirt, and the reason he had to wear it is because he didn't bring the beers last week.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so now you're getting punished for not being in the beer culture.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
it.
like, yeah, it's just, I think that's strong in the young men
For sure.
well. Yeah.
And it's probably the only culture that if you don't drink, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Well,
yeah.
I used to say you can never trust someone that doesn't drink.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, the one that doesn't
That's
drink.
right. Yeah, exactly. So don't trust me.
Fucking hell. And then the drugs on the top of that too.
It's literally a segue straight into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get on the beers, one of the boys will hit you up and say, should we get a bag?
Get a bag.
And then you go from there, and it's
7 a.m. the next day.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That's right. You're in some
Massive
random kitchen, and then you're in it, you know.
Fuck, how am I getting home?
And then,
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Is that the sun?
When you get home, innit? And then it's like, fuck.
Oh,
Everything it's like when when you're on a session and that first bird starts squawking in the morning,
You know.
your whole day is fucked.
Yeah.
And you just realise you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Not only your whole day, your whole week.
Yes.
Your start of your week.
Yeah,
You've just
100%.
ruined it, you know?
Yeah. Because it'll happen Saturday night, and then, like you said, the birds start chirping, like, fuck, it's morning.
Yeah.
And then it's Sunday, and if you've got a partner at home,
Yep.
especially if you've got kids, you can't just go home and go to bed. You got to try and be somewhat a partner or a father.
Yeah.
And then that rolls on. And then come Monday, you got to go to work. You're
Exactly.
fucked. Tuesday, you're fucked. Wednesday, you're fucked. Thursday, you're feeling just fine, a bit better.
Yep.
Friday,
Back into it. It's just, isn't it? It's just the cycle.
It's that same
Yeah,
cycle.
for sure.
And it is that culture in
It
men.
is. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's fucking, it's crazy. And that's the kind of thing I'd like to break too, is that stupid culture.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a horrible thing. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
Like, growing up now, it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, I think it stems from when you're younger as well. Like, when you're in high school, like, I remember fucking every weekend, like, going to parties as young teenagers. We always somehow got beers in our bags. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. You used to go to Year 6 4 and steal that or put that in there. It was so
Straight to
fucking
Jason
easy.
Minot's fridge.
We'd have a backpack and we'd load up the fridge from Jace's beer fridge at the back, and then we're on our way. You know? And then,
wow.
it was just normal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And at that stage, it was the thrill of getting beers. You got beers?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
16 at a party, and everyone's frothing.
Yeah.
And then
that's it.
now it's easily accessible. You just go and get them. It's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't drink beers, you're like, oh, there's something wrong.
Something's
Yeah,
wrong.
that's it.
Exactly.
Oh, if
Yeah.
I'm not drinking this week, oh,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with me.
I don't think it has the same stigmatism as someone pulling out like an ice pipe.
Yeah.
Everyone, for the most part, would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a beer, everyone's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You haven't got a beer?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Mm.
You know?
But it's just a
crazy.
beer, but it's never just a beer.
No,
is
it's
it?
never.
No one in this fucking
Yeah.
world can tell me. Anyone that tells you we're only going for one beer,
Yeah.
and I'm guilty of
Is
myself.
yeah.
You're going for one,
Oh,
fucking-
same.
Mate, that would be the biggest beer you've ever seen in your life because
Yeah.
you're not having just one.
No, that's
it's
right.
a fucking crock of shit.
The
Yeah.
guy did a video on Facebook the other day. It's like, this is Guy Mass when we're talking about beers, and he's like, just going for a couple of beers, and he put out like 6 beers. Then he goes, right, just going for a few beers, and he put out like 12
Yeah.
beers. It's so
It's
fucking true.
Yeah,
You don't
100%.
go to
It's
the
like,
pub
if
for one
I'm-
tuna.
If I say I'm going for one beer, it's usually 4. So, what are some personal wins or some really good self growth that you've gone through?
I probably the awareness of my own mental health. That
Well
would be
done.
without a doubt the biggest one. Getting over that hurdle, and I guess not even seeking help in regards to being medicated or getting any understanding of what I do have. It's just that once I've never had a problem with that, but once I've got it, and they're like, "Look, you do have depression. These are the traits." You do one of those psychometric tests or whatever it is, and it tells you that you have it. That was a big thing for me because I thought, right, it actually is help. Because I've been to therapists and I've been to that before, and whether I align with those particular therapists or not, I never found great benefit from those.
Yeah.
Whereas the medication I did.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, everyone's different. There may be people that don't suit the medication, but for me, it definitely does.
Yeah.
So that would be the biggest.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said before, just like the self-awareness and then knowing that you're going to fuck up. I think that you have to fail to know you're doing
100%.
something.
Yeah, of course.
You go, fuck yeah. If you went through life and got everything right, I really don't think you'd be the full potential.
I think it'd be a boring life.
100%.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as failure, only
Yeah.
feedback.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's it.
That's a good one.
And you only fail if you quit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you never truly fail
No.
unless you give up.
Yeah.
That's self-growth as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah. And fuck, man, every lessons you learn, you grow.
that's
No,
right.
100%. Well, an old bloke told me once, he goes, don't ever let the wins go to your head and don't let the losses go to your heart.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I truly
That's
live by
massive.
that every day.
Yeah.
You have a bad day and you think, fuck it, this is it, fuck this, I'm over it.
Yeah.
No, you just keep pushing through. Same token, when you do a good job and everyone's like, job, this and this, don't go gloating and telling everyone.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they're going to think is you're a fuckwit. And then it's going to
Absolutely.
embellish you. You're going to start to get a big
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
And then when you do fuck up, it's going to be 10 times worse.
Yeah. It's like, we spoke about it last week as well, the fighting those demons.
Mm.
Just don't fight them, just negotiate.
Yeah,
with
just
them.
negotiate.
They're a part of you.
That's right.
If you are having
Yep.
a bad day, okay, what can I do right now to change that way?
Exactly.
Is it going for a walk?
Yep.
Is it fucking going to the gym, having a sauna?
That's it.
Fucking cold shower will snap you out of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
real
smart.
quick. Yeah, real quick.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So do you do anything today to practice, better health? Is it just a gym? Do you do anything else?
Yeah, routine. Routine's
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah.
You know,
We
like,
spoke about that last
Yeah.
week.
yeah, that's a big thing for me. If I'm not, 5-10 minutes early for anything that I'm doing,
Yeah.
it'll just set the tone from there. So I've got
Yeah.
to be early. I've got to be, ahead of schedule and just positivity.
Nice.
I do try a lot to take a step back when you might want to fucking lurch out at someone or whatever it is. Just take a step back and think, hang on, what my response going to be going to affect these people? Bad drivers, for instance. How many times you sit behind someone doing 20 Ks under the speed limit?
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. I'll fucking always say, what are you doing? They can't hear you.
On the horn.
Yeah,
On the
that's
horn,
it.
whatever it is, you say, they might be having a bad day. Like you never know what people are going through.
I was guilty for this last week. And you know what? The first thing I said to myself was like, oh, why is this person driving? I was like, dude, what are you doing? Just calm down. You can't control everything. It's out of your control. There's no need to get angry.
Yeah.
Where we live, there's a 90k zone as you come out of the house. And even today on the way here, someone was doing 65. So it's an ongoing battle that I have. And I sit there and go, what the fuck are you doing? I don't get on the horn, so it's just me. But
Just the battle.
I don't know what they're going through. They might not be confident. They
That's
might just
right.
crash their fucking car.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't know. That's something we're getting better at.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
it's just that positive initial thought rather than negativity.
Yeah, that's great. So you've got awareness of your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing. I think it's awareness, and it's not something that's going to take, if anyone's battling the same thing, it's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight.
Practice.
But practice. It's
Yeah.
those little steps that you take every single day
Yep.
that'll get you there.
And I think that's the most important. Like, you've watched the videos. I really drum this into the lads and the brotherhood. It's having self-awareness. So be aware of what you're thinking and your thoughts. Have observation of your thoughts and your environment. When you can start to control that, you can control your emotions and your actions.
Yeah.
And that means you're just becoming a heaps better man.
Yeah,
better
that's
being.
it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've got another question here for you, man. Why do you think men struggle to talk about their mental health?
It's the stigma. It's the age-old thing. Men are tough. There's no weakness within men.
Yeah.
You should just be able to go through your life and deal with it. Whereas
Boys
you
don't
can't.
cry.
Yeah, boys don't cry. You're a man. But that's it. Be a man. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we touched on last week with the stigma. It's just massive. Like, exactly. Like, don't talk about your feelings. Like, if it's not bleeding, why are you crying?
Yeah.
Well, we're, especially the older generation, it's becoming a lot different now, but you're a man. You're not supposed to have feelings. That's for girls.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest crock of shit
Yeah,
you've ever
100%.
heard in your life,
Yeah.
We're two different beings, males and females. We all go through different things, but we all have emotions. And
Yes.
sometimes the men that sometimes the men that hold them in are the ones that are affected the worst.
Yeah.
You said the stats at the start with suicide.
Yeah.
That's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something we've got to change.
Well, that was number 5 last week, the stigma
Yeah.
of the mental health.
Yeah.
You know, it's massive because we look at our parents,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't, I never seen my dad fucking cry when I was a child.
Yep.
I never seen him. The only emotion I really seen was anger
Mm-hmm.
and some love here and there.
Yep.
You know, but mum, I'd see her cry and all those things, and boys don't cry, don't
That's
cry,
right.
stop crying, or get up, what are you whinging about?
Yeah.
You know, shit
Yep.
like that. So it is really important for men to reach out. Like if you are struggling, reach out, and you can see the importance of a brotherhood.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Reach out. Don't be afraid. And don't let that stigma get in the way. Like even that thought of, if I tell someone you're going to be judged, because realistically, and if you have a brotherhood, no one's going to judge you. They're going to accept it and they're going to give you guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's one thing now, if you could go back 15 years ago, what's one thing you'd tell yourself?
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
It's probably as simple as it is. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know, if you could, just say you're going to go through life, you're going to have battles, you're going to come across things that are hard, you're going to get on the other side. There's always a light on the other side, no matter what you're going through.
Fucking love that, man, because whenever I was in my darkest days, the one thing I would think of is, how am I going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How am I going to get out of this? Nothing's going to come good. Nothing.
Yeah.
But when you're at the bottom, there's only one way.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And when you are up and you're feeling the best, you don't even think about what you thought about down here.
No.
Because you're cruising.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that's the up and down notion is what I referred to before. It's you're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. When you're having your bad days, just remember the good days. And when you're having your good days, remember the bad days so you can just keep cruising.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going to get there. It's going to be a seesaw effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. There is a way out.
And being grateful for what you actually have.
That's it.
Yes.
You know, even the little things. Like I'll say thank you for a green light.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
That's right.
It's just a little bit.
The energy.
Gratitude's a big thing because you don't realise, I think, until you're in the moment. Sometimes you don't realise how good you've had it until you lose it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
When you're
right.
sick, when you're sick, get the flu, you go, fuck, I would do anything
Yeah.
just to be able to go to the gym or fucking get up without having a snotty nose or a cough or whatever. That's probably the littlest thing.
Yeah.
I guess it goes to that when you are feeling good mentally, you think, fuck, hey man, we're going all right today.
Yeah.
We're going good. Something like that.
Being really grateful.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
And, being a father, we're all fathers here. How important is it to be a good, strong role model for you?
I think it's the most important thing, without a doubt. If you can set the tone in regards to how you treat people, how you navigate through life, like I said, with positivity, that's just going to radiate towards the kids as well. If they can see you as their father figure, someone that they respect and they treat as like they idolise, then you've done your job.
That's it.
Without a doubt.
And a big thing of that as well is them seeing you do it. And they're like, oh, wow, like that's how dad speaks to this person. Or, that's how he talks to that person. Like they take that in. And like you don't realise, but you do. They all take it in.
Yeah. Oh, they know things, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, they
My young bloke says stuff all the time, rather, and he's like, you said this to that person. You're like, I don't even fuck.
Yeah,
they're little sponges, man.
That's right. Yeah,
Sponge.
they remember the things sometimes you don't quite remember.
Yeah, they'll remember the way you spoke to your partner.
Yeah.
They'll remember the way you were on the piss. Everything. It's why it's really, really important for us men to be the strongest versions of ourselves around our kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we are programming our kids.
100%.
Yeah,
and I guess what I touched on before too is just being someone that they'd be proud to be themselves.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the opposite. I wanted to be the opposite. Whereas, so I hope for my son that he sees me and goes, yeah, I can see myself doing what my dad does. That would be the ultimate.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen Chase. He loves his old man.
A little superhero, mate. That's good. And then he's got a strong mother too.
Yes, so, of course.
You've dealt him the best cards he can possibly
very, very luckily in that regard too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because if he came to you in 10 years' time and you'd seen what he was going through, like how would that make you feel and how would you best to give him advice?
Oh, it would just be obviously whatever he's going through, just talk through that as well. But knowing how I've raised him and the amount, I tell him I love him. Fuck, I would count countless times how many times I tell him I love him a day. So if he got to a stage, I know without a doubt that he'd come to me and talk to me before it even got to that point.
You've created that safe space.
Yeah, 100%. There's kids at school that he gets bullied by sometimes, and he asks me what I should do about it.
Yeah.
And I said, just walk away.
Yeah.
And he's like, walk what? Don't punch him. Don't do that. I said, mate, just walk away.
Yeah.
What's he going to do when you beat him up?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
So my old man told me, it's okay to retaliate if it's self-defense. So if you get punched first, then all you need to do is punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
And I've said the same thing to my son. It's like, if they're verbally attacking you, it's just fucking words.
Yep.
And then when
Yeah.
somebody is attacking you like that, again, perception is projection. They're just angry at themselves.
That's
They
it.
fucking
That's right.
hate themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
They really just don't take it to heart.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if they're going to start using violence, then punch
100%.
them right between the eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
No, I'm a big believer of that as well. Like the one kid in particular that's probably given the most grief. His dad died not too long ago. So that's what I go back to. I said, mate, he would be hurting more than you realise. He's just, he's just expressing that to everyone.
Yeah.
So and that's the same again. There's people going through things you don't understand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And so what's a daily habit or mindset shift that helps you through the day, like that gets you through?
The gym.
Yeah, okay.
The gym or jiu-jitsu, some type of mental...
And I see you just got your stripe.
I did, third stripe.
Nice.
We're early days.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's a big challenge.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do jiu-jitsu literally for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
The closest one was, so I live in Wanji, so the closest one for me was Newcastle at that stage. And it was an excuse. I thought, fuck that, I'm not going in there to do that. So then when the one in Toronto opened, I thought, we got no excuses now.
Yeah.
Now, let's go. So that was big because that was out of my comfort zone well and truly. So going there every day without hesitation.
Yeah.
I go there every day without hesitation when they're open.
Yeah.
And it's the best. I love it. Yeah. So
Would that be like a non-negotiable for you? Yeah. You got to go.
100%.
Yeah.
Unless I'm, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Really.
That's
we're
right.
in there.
Yeah.
Because I try and do 4 to 5 sessions a week. So I'm fucked by the end of it, but I'll still squeeze it in. Just trying to get better. And that's the thing, that's probably the best environment to be in because you're going to get fucking smashed.
Yeah.
You're going to get smashed by people that are 30 kilos lighter than you or 40 years older than you,
Well, if you're the best in the room, you're never going to learn.
That's it, yeah.
That's right. And you might best someone on one day, but then you do a different technique the next day.
Well, that's how you grow as
100%.
in combat sport. Well, I believe there's no point. I mean, from my experience in boxing, like it's probably the same in like obviously different, but it's the same sort of concept where like if I keep sparring guys who are not as good as me, then I'm not going to get better. I mean, I've learned more in the days I've got my ass kicked than the other days, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. So
100%.
And I feel like it's self growth as well, because I've been days I've been like, oh fuck, I just got the shit beat out of me. And it's like those days where you're like, that shows true character of like you got two things, you can either give up or you can keep fucking pushing. And then you just keep pushing through those days, and then you get better. You get better. You don't get worse. You get better.
Yeah.
And the days that you don't want to go to the gym, like you're on your way there and you go, fuck this, I'm going to turn this car.
Yeah.
But then you get there and you do a belt of a workout and you think, fuck.
Yeah.
And to think, I was that close not to come in here today.
That's it. Yeah. Well, the hardest part is like showing up sometimes. And once you're there, that's done.
Well, we said that last week. So if you don't feel like going to the gym, just negotiate with yourself. Just go to the gym. Just say, all right, I'll just walk into the gym.
Exactly.
Because the fucking chances of you going into the gym and walking out are slim to none.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
And I've done that so many times, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll just go there. I'll just do one exercise. Yeah. You come back. Fuck, that was an awesome gym.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because you never regret going to the gym.
No, never. Just the car ride negotiating there.
Awesome, man. One more thing. What advice would you give to a man that is struggling with, depression or any mental health issues?
Speak to your friends. Don't be afraid to ask the question. If they turn around and say, fucking man up, toughen up, as hard as that may be, they're not your friend. Truly. If they haven't got the time to sit down with you and say, what are you going through, whatever it is, you probably need to start looking for some other friends. That would be the best.
100%. Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the doctor route, you can go and speak to the therapist and everything like that, which is fine. That may align with some people, but I think the friendship side of things is most people.
You definitely need that support network.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely that brotherhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking really important.
Yeah.
Really, really.
If you got those friends who are saying, fuck off or whatever, like change your friend group ASAP. Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if you are hanging out with people that get on the piss every fucking weekend, guess what? You're going to be that.
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah, it's tough. Awesome, man. Bro, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you, fellas.
And thank you for being really, really strong and battling through. You're a fucking inspiration.
Thank you, brother.
And I really appreciate you for coming on.
No, thanks for having me, boys. I love what you're doing. It's I hope as many people see this and what you guys are doing just to break that stigma to say, fuck it, I can speak up and we can talk about it because there's nothing to be afraid of.
Nothing.
It's the same what we talked about before, going to the gym. I don't want to fucking go to the gym. I guarantee you, as soon as you just break out what you're talking about and what's going on in your mind and how you're feeling, there'll be a weight lifted off your shoulders like you've never felt before.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
You will feel so much better.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
You
We
are
love
amazing,
you.
brother.
We love you.
You're a fucking legend.
Legend.
All right, guys, thank you. And big thanks to Matt for coming on, telling his story. Again, this is episode 3. If you are going through anything in your life right now, please reach out. Again, reach out to me, Blake. We'll put Matt's Instagram. Even reach out to him if you resonate with his story. If you want to sell your house, reach out to Matt.
That's it.
And yeah, guys, thank you for watching and much love.
Much love. Thank you.